Hello again. Welcome back to Pixel Perfect Marathon 2. I hope you are now back seated because there are more exciting runs coming up. I am Jonathan Irving GS and I'll be your host for the next couple of runs. Coming up, we'll have JD. We'll run Rusty any percent. So, JD, take it away.
Hello, everybody. It's really nice to be back again. You might remember me from the first Pixel Perfect Marathon, where I showed the other game from the C Lab company, Totsugeki Mix. But this time we have something really special because I have the world record holder Uchi with me. Want to say hi, Uchi?
Hello. Thank you for having me today, JD.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Okay, yeah, like I said, we are running Rusty today. It's the first game from the C Lab company, Japanese PC 98 game from the 90s, slightly Castlevania inspired. It's a little bit longer than the Totsugeki Mix one. We got like around 40 to 50 minutes, and it's packed with lore and stuff and some pixel perfection as well. And I hope I'll do you some good. So let's get started. We're sitting through the intro here, and after that, I'll do the countdown for the timer and stuff like that. So here we have our fancy title screen, our companion, the bird. And if we're ready to go, I'll do the countdown. So I'll do the countdown. Okay, we're starting in 3, 2, 1, go. And I'll sit back now and, well, don't talk so much so I can focus on the game and let Uchi do the talking.
There is quite a bit to focus on in this game, so yeah, pleasure to help out. So basically with our storyline, we're set several hundred years ago, and the Marquis de Monte Carlo, former ruler of Transylvania, he was sealed away, and they're aiming to we've got people that are trying to resurrect him. And what's been happening is several villages have been overrun by monsters, but here we have our hero, Rusty, who is a monster hunter herself. So she comes across this village that has just been attacked by these assorted creatures, and she's now on a mission to find one girl in particular from this village. Her name is Ryoko. And as we go through this first stage, we're going to be going through the remnants of this village, and we'll be approaching the first boss. It's a very short stage, and we come across Thunderclap. And Thunderclap is our boss, basically riding a dragon, and what JD is going to be doing is staying close in range to negate as much of the range attacks as possible, and that is the first stage over and done with.
Yeah, the common theme in this game is that like the first stages are quite short and fast, but towards the end you have like stages that go on forever and ever.
So because that's our first girl rescued, there have been several girls that have been taken from different villages. And we learned from this girl that the girls are being taken to Bloodthorn Castle. And at Bloodthorn Castle is the person who was looking at resurrecting the Marquis de Monte Carlo, Queen Bloody Mary. And under her command are 8 fiends who are taking these girls from different villages. Now, aside from the storyline, one thing that we've sort of missed so far are sub-weapons for Rusty. So while Rusty's main weapon is going to be a whip, similar to what we experienced in the Castlevania adventures, there are 4 assorted sub-weapons that can be picked up along the way. There are some that are in fixed locations, so they won't change, but there will be some that are randomized. And this is one level of that provides a good example of, hey, we'll get a one-up while we're at it.
Yeah, marathon safety, you know it.
Yeah, exactly. We'll get to one-ups in a bit, because they will play a role in terms of picking more up in stage 5. But with our sub-weapons, there are 4 different sub-weapons that can be picked up. From the first level, there was one that looked like the icon looked like a fire shield. So that is the bomber, or the mind slasher, which is a multiple target attack. And other ones that we can pick up along the way, there will be a star-shaped one, which is a shield, also known as Shadow Dance. A stopwatch, which will be time slow, and the other one, which we briefly saw at the beginning in the menu, we have a companion, Owl, whose name is Chappie.
It's an owl.
And It is an owl, yes.
I didn't know that. It was for me just a bird always.
and our owl chappie is the most powerful single target attack that we can pick up if we happen to get one along the way. So we'll actually see coming up to this boss, because there will be one statue that you will pick up. So fingers crossed for some good lottery here.
Nope.
Nope, it's the stopwatch. And this is our second stage boss, who is Angel Kiss. And basically the role of Angel Kiss is being a necromancer, and she's one of the 8 fiends that has been responsible for raising many of the monsters, especially those from the dead.
Taking it slow and easy here.
Hopefully the stopwatch is a good omen for the next level.
Oh yeah, let's hope that. Oh, I forgot to mention, everyone, a wise man once said, stay hydrated. I think it was yesterday, doing another Pixel Perfect stream, so everyone stay hydrated.
Now there was an important cutscene we just skipped there, where we meet one of the lead henchmen of Bloody Mary, a man by the name of Brian Gatteau. And it's during that cutscene that Gatteau realizes that Rusty is a hunter. And he realizes this because he was formerly a hunter. So in the end, he's basically set the task for Rusty to go and try to chase him down at the chapel. So we're basically at the chapel grounds at the moment, and we'll be looking at getting to higher ground in the chapel.
Yeah, this is also the first level which has quite a little bit of maze layout in comparison to the earlier ones.
The great thing about the Rusty game is that there are a lot of areas that you can explore, and it's quite easy, especially first playthrough, or if you're looking at just going for explore. It's very easy to get lost throughout different sections.
Very easy. Yes.
But it's a lot of fun at the same time. And it's very good clearance of that imp as well. Sometimes those imps can be quite annoying, quite irritating. So good to see that one's cleared off. There will be another one up ahead, but I'm sure it'll be cleared out with very little issue. Oh, very nice sequence there. Very well done.
Don't jinx it. So I normally ignore this one until I get here. Miss it there. Ignore this guy. Jump over the fellow and do this.
It's a very good sequence. Now, it's just been mentioned in chat, the music. The music in this game is really outstanding, especially for the engine of its time, the PC-98. And in fact, it wasn't that long ago that there was a special release of a vinyl album with special artwork in dedication to this game. It's not the best sub-weapon we just picked up, but it will still have some very good efficiency in terms of getting through this section a bit quicker than normal.
Yeah. Yeah, the ideal weapon for this fight is arguably, or non-arguably, the owl, not the bird. Or maybe the fireballs. But, yeah.
Anything that deals more damage, we'll take it.
Yeah,
but at least with the shield, we can avoid taking damage at certain points.
Or not.
So this is our or not. So this is our third boss, the Bungee Demon. The Bungee Demon has a few abilities. So as we can see, it has scatter fireballs. It also has a drop ability, and that is going to be the ideal time that we want to attack when it's at its lowest. And we also have these flames that are fired out. Getting quite a few drops today from the Bungee Demon.
Yeah, like this game has a lot of RNG, especially around some bosses. So they can really misbehave and, well, do what he's doing right now, meaning nothing. Calm down!
And some of those bosses we will discuss later on.
Oh boy. He's really, really not wanting to see me. Oh, now he comes down. I'm just gonna whip him. One more!
Just a couple more. One more.
One 2 more. Okay.
There we go.
Yeah, that was... Well, we didn't die, so let's focus on the good stuff here, right?
Oh, look, the less deaths we can take, the better. Actually, that was one thing I was sort of thinking about today. Like, you know what? It'd be great if we could do a deathless run, but it wouldn't be a speed run if we didn't have a death, and we'll discuss that in the next stage.
Yes.
And now we continue to the upper chapel.
This is arguably the most annoying stage of all, but at the same time also quite interesting.
So we're going to have a couple of sequences that we need to go through. So the first one, we need to collect a key at the very top of this area. And it's not going to be that key, it's going to be another key, which will be vital to get us into a certain section. So what JD is going to be doing here is navigating this section incredibly well. Some very good movement through here. Get past the spikes. Brilliant work. And he'll be grabbing... Well, we've actually got to unlock the key. So we've got to get it out of the block first.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope. I don't really need to kill this guy. It just feels so good.
Just saves a little bit of time. And then what JD is doing, he's taking a death warp to return back to this area. So if you're doing a regular playthrough, it's probably a bit annoying if you're trying to get through that area to get to that key and then all of a sudden take a death. Now this section is this was a very interesting one in terms of developing when we were working on the speed run. So what we discovered was there is a way that we can manipulate platforms in this game with scrolling at certain points. And again, a Castlevania game with scroll manipulation, yes please. So by having certain platforms loading at certain points, we can get a convenient sequence of platforms to be able to move through. Oh, unfortunately, we just missed.
Yeah, that's also very common. So it's like 1 in 4 where I get a good pattern here. Oh, like this one. I think it was actually Beat Zero that discovered this short strat here, right?
I think so, yeah. So there are a few of us that have run this game. So JD, me, and yes, another runner by the name of Beat Zero.
Patience.
And I think across the three of us, we've found some interesting little saves here and there throughout, some interesting sequences. This has been a pretty good sequence.
Acceptable, I'd say. No PB or world record attempt there, but we still didn't die, so yeah, I'll take it.
I mean, you never know with this game. Anything can happen. I mean, RNG can be friendly. Sometimes it can be a little bit annoying. But otherwise, we've got cool music that still continue to play in the background.
Nope.
And because we've reached the top of the chapel, we now come across Brian Gatto, who is Bloody Mary's henchman. So JD's going to be trying to stay as close as possible, not give Brian too much room, just continually attack. Oh, nearly.
There we go.
And we got
no death again. Oh my god.
This is looking pretty good. So just except for the death warp, of course.
Yeah, no unintentional death. I mean, yeah, but this guy can really misbehave. Sometimes you get him like first cycle when he just goes to the left and you spam, or he just goes around. We didn't see the ball attack.
And that was the important thing. We didn't want Brian to get too much distance, otherwise he will unleash that ball attack, and it's one that just wears down Rusty a lot. So as a result of taking down Brian at the top of the chapel, he decides, right, you are quite strong. We're going to make a game of this. First one to the castle, but you have to go through the underground cave, and I'll see you there.
Nope.
So because we're in the underground cave, we've basically got to get through the other side. But one thing that we discover about this cave.
Never mind.
Oh, yeah, we have to go through again. So one thing that we will learn about this cave is that this is actually one of the routes where they've taken the girls through to be sacrificed in order to resurrect the Marquis de Monte Carlo.
We jinxed it. What? Bird.
Would have got stop time. And this is one of those stages where with the sub-weapons, we've got a bit of flexibility in terms of what sub-items can be used. So any are very good options. At least
Never mind.
you've reached a checkpoint, so that's a good sign.
Yeah, I did it intentionally to refill my health, which I can refill soon anyway. And those worms. Initially, I didn't even know that you could jump over them. I just saw Uchi doing that one time, and I was like, oh, interesting. And they have a really annoying pattern when they jump and when they don't jump. So yeah, more worms.
Sometimes with the pattern, you can get a double hit on them. Sometimes you just miss them completely as part of their jump sequence. But as long as you can get past them or kill them off, that's the main thing. Oh, nice jump. So along the way, JD's going to be collecting another sub-weapon.
I hope I will.
We'll just, well, we hope it's going to be better than the stopwatch. Here we go. Hooray! We got the multiple target attack.
It was also the same bird from earlier that I normally like skip, don't die, and then kill on the second attempt. And that was I don't know why sometimes it happens that I drop too close to the ledge there. And then I get eaten by worms. Not looking good here. But yeah.
And we're across.
Now we have the best sub-weapon of all. None.
As long as we safely get through this section, that's going to be the main thing. And sometimes this can happen where we've just got to take that a little bit more time just to get through bits.
And now this guy. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh my god. Don't do it! Oh my god.
Oh no.
Yeah, but the good thing about this game is even if your game over, you can just restart the level again. So it's not like we have to go back to the complete beginning, but maybe second time around we're doing a little bit better. But yeah, Marathon Lark at its finest. Let's do better this time.
And this is one of those games where, and especially at first when we're playing it, it can just jip you for luck with something like that. But this time, this is looking really good, really fluent.
Yeah, this is how it's supposed to look like. Not like this.
As long as we clear those out, there will be a health pickup that JD can collect a bit further on.
I got a little bit panicked there. Yeah. I mean, we just saw it, right? Oh, no, wait, did I skip it the last time? I think I did, because we had full
yes, you
health,
did.
because I died a lot before. Yeah, but this level. It got a nice soundtrack though, so yeah.
I think that's one thing about this game that we never had any complaints about. Just every stage has fantastic music. It's, yeah, as we said before, it's got an amazing soundtrack. And yeah, we still get the bomber attack. Okay, and releasing off the chain, holding to the right, and there we go. There's that little extra pixel to get it on the platform.
Yeah, I still haven't figured out why it sometimes happens and doesn't happen. If I wait a few seconds or a second before I press right, it most of the time works, but if I'm too fast, I guess like something... I just mind slashed you, man.
And here's a good opportunity to, very good. So there's a very, very good use of that because there is a creature on the other side of the platform that can be a little bit annoying to deal with sometimes with its projectile, especially if we're on our last point of health.
Yes.
But that was dealt with really well.
This is also...
Yes.
No, I'm not spoilering. We'll see it hopefully in a second. Come. No.
Hey, there we go. We got Chappie. We got Chappie the Owl.
We don't really need him in this level though.
No, but it'll be interesting if we still have Chappie by the time we get to the final section. But now we need to negotiate this. Then need to negotiate the slope of the boulders. Get into a movement sequence. Maybe grab some health.
Yeah. Where's... Oh no.
Is it the next one?
I mind slashed it.
Oh, you did too. That's right.
That's like something I was not prepared for because I never do it this way. But oh well. But now we are in the first official auto-scroller section of the game. So if you have some donations, please read them now. Wait. Wrong event, sorry.
Yeah, wrong one.
There's a really interesting small detail about the boulders that come crashing down on me here. The big ones don't give us any points, but the small ones do, which is quite interesting. Because points are also quite useful in this game to stock up on extra lives.
And points are going to be very, very important in the next section. So
Exactly.
we'll be having a look at how that plays a role. But this is one auto-scroller you can't simply switch off on because, anything could happen. You don't know where the boulders are dropping from. Just have to be alert all the time. But at least you know you're about halfway through this section when we finally get to the health grab, which shouldn't be too far away.
Yeah, next one. But you can also moonwalk on this section here if you're... There we go.
Hey.
Give me... Nope. Nope. Yes. Nope. Nope.
It's really throwing everything at you today, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's going like apeshit. Oh my god. Who built something like this?
I don't know if they've built it or if it's just all caving in.
Yeah, probably unbuilt. Don't do it. I want to get over there. Please let me.
And we're out of that section, and we're in the lead up to the boss. So this is where, so we're going karting, and we're going to have some very important items to pick up along the way. So there are some, apart from the sub-weapons, there are a few other special items. The ones at the moment are being symbolized by the rubber ducky, which are a huge amount of points. And we want to collect as many of these as possible through this section. Hey, nice pickup on the 1-up. That's not an easy pickup to get.
That's literally a pixel perfect jump there, and I'm gonna do it every single time. I'm attempting
And
it
well,
every
no fear
single
to do it
time.
either. I mean, there's nothing in the sub-weapon at the moment, so unfortunately we don't have Chappie with us. But the 3 items include the rubber duck. There's also a snail, which will give 50 MP for our sub-weapon, our magic power. And there's also a goldfish, which awards 500 seconds of time, or maximizes your timer. While that is not usually something that we would look at picking up in a speedrun, it is an important item that we do need to pick up in Stage 8. And now we're up to the boss, the Cablegram Stinger. This boss will just basically dash back and forth, and will fire projectiles.
On a
So
lucky
it's-
run, he doesn't dash once, and on this run, he did it 3 times. But time to hydrate.
Fairly straightforward to deal with, though. And that is Stage 5 cleared.
We got a lot of lives now, ignoring that we, took a game over in this stage.
And those lives will be very important in the latter stages of the game, especially when we get up to the final stage.
Definitely, yeah. I would say the next stage is like the turning point. After the next one, it becomes, well, hard. But this one is more like a really nice, chill.
So from the fires of hell of the cave, we're now in the waterways. And this will be part of our lead up to get into the castle. This is probably my favorite track out of all of them in the game.
I was about to say that. Like, I like the one from the next stage as well because it's really kick-ass, but this one has this like trance mystery feel to it, which also gives it a really cool vibe. So, yeah, the best soundtrack of this specific genre in the game, I'd say. Doing some damage boosting here and there.
And especially in the early parts of these stages, there's some very cool movement sequences, and there's one coming up. JD, you'll be probably going for the hop, skip, and the jump over,
of course,
over some of the gaps. Oh, it looks amazing when it's pulled off.
Oh, if the platform is in the right place, you can like hopscotch over the whole thing in one big sweep. Oh. Almost. Whoa.
Oh, nicely done.
Not perfect, but
no, it was good. It was a good backup though. That was a really good backup.
Yeah, I mean, spikes in the floor, like you know from other games like Mega Man, are instant death. And I missed this guy. No, no, no. There's a nice little jump coming up here. I get it.
Ah, very, very good. Very good with that jump right there. We'll have
And
a couple of water phantoms in the background. We'll just walk by those.
Ignore, and let's go for the quick kill.
And this is, stage 6 boss. So this is the screwdriver. JD is wasting no time, just getting straight into the platform, straight into a whipping sequence. Hopefully we'll get this done in 2 cycles. Oh, yes. Very nicely done. And that's ideally how we want to get through the screwdriver boss.
Yay! Back on track. There's a really cool small strat that I discovered not too long ago. I don't even know, maybe you know it as well, Uchi, but you can keep your momentum when you run through a door. If you like ever so slightly when you open the door, release the up key to sprint, and then immediately keep sprinting again. So you basically walk through the door while you're like slowing down, but then keep running right away. Yeah,
first time with that jump sequence. Again, this is a stage with a couple of very challenging jump sequences right at the beginning and right at the end with those platforms. So that's really well
I'm
done.
not going for the end one because that is virtually impossible.
No, it's crazy.
You have like a clip somewhere, right, where you practice it and got it like once or twice.
It's very hard for timing. I haven't tried that one in a long time.
Yeah, we can call it task strat, right?
But yeah, we're heading up the garden path, and fairly straightforward stage. It's just left to right. We're just having to dodge a lot of the enemies, the chon that are flying through the air, dodge the eyes that are coming out of the ground. Those can't be attacked, and then the plants. And then we're gonna have some leaping, fire-breathing wolves that are attacking us. Yep, and dealt with comfortably. We've got a better sub-weapon this time with the Mind Slasher. We'll need to get some MP again, but that's going to be very useful coming up to the boss for this stage, which is going to be one of our lottery bosses.
Oh, I'm very close to dying, so I'm taking it super slow.
I think you've got a health pickup just here.
Yes, this is one of the fixed ones, and I could have jumped there if I... Well...
Oh no!
I'm sorry.
The toast didn't quite grip, and oh no, we've got the stopwatch again.
Yeah, that's where the muscle memory betrayed me, because...
Might get a better sub weapon here though. Oh, there we go. There's the bomber. But this is where having all those lives is incredibly handy.
Why is this dog carrying money?
I can't come up with a joke at the moment.
This is how I normally do it. Yeah, like I got totally betrayed by my muscle memory with that jump earlier, because I messed it up initially, and then I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. No bird, but at least on fire.
That's good though, more MP. And we now have Morning Glory. So 5 flowers, it's kind of like the cup game, like try to pick where they are. Sometimes they'll come out, sometimes they won't. Twice in a row they don't.
And until you destroy the one in the middle, you have to like sacrifice your health to get to the other side every time. And
so the only time we can jump is if there's a clear gap, or if the flowers are closed up. When they're open, we can take damage from the boss, as well as the falling puddles. We want to avoid those as much as possible. But now it's very much a game of guess where the boss is.
I'm not gonna make that. Ah.
Yeah, at least we got 2 on the right side now.
And now it's time to wait. Oh no.
Just up and whip. Hey, that's a good finish.
I want to show you something cool. Yay!
Hey, we got the pitfall. Brilliant.
From the sewers, we're raising our hands.
I was hoping you were going to show that trick.
Yeah. And it also answers the question if you can die after you picked up the orb, which is no. And now another classic stage.
So we've finished the garden path, and now we're onto 2 sections of the castle. So it wouldn't be a form of Castlevania game if we didn't have a clock tower stage. And that's exactly what we have here. So we have 3 screens of auto-scrolling madness. And for your first playthrough, it may seem like a bit of madness, because there is so much to learn in terms of the sequencing. So along the way, you must make sure that you pick up keys at certain points, and it may be a case of learning where those locations are to begin with. But once you understand where those locations are, it becomes a very straightforward sequence after a while.
Yeah, it also feels like a relatively slow auto-scroller with how slow the screen is moving, but if you miss a cycle or 2, you're very close to, well, messing up and having to start from scratch again. But the soundtrack again is really kick-ass, especially when the second part kicks in.
So another hidden statue with a key. Now it's funny, with the diamond keys in this game, usually the diamond keys are for the secret doors. Now there's one of our other optimal items to pick up. So JD picked up the snail. And you might notice at the bottom section of the screen, he's got 50 MP. This will be very handy for the next little bit. Once he gets on top of these platforms.
Another reason why the soundtrack in this game is so kick-ass, even for the game itself, is because the PC 98, which is basically just a Japanese IBM kind of thing, has a lot of variety when it comes to soundboards that you can install, and even the emulator that I'm using has like some really great customization options. So I think I tweaked the MIDI files for like the drum set a little bit to make it sound even more kick-ass. And just because we're in a marathon, I'm going for it.
Oh, you're going to go for the key?
Yes.
Oh, brilliant.
And another one up. Now we
And
got
another
10.
one up.
More than enough to die over and over and over again. Another small interesting detail about our owl friend is that if you attack an enemy first, he doesn't attack it. And he does normally twice the amount of damage than you do. So occasionally you will find myself either hitting in the opposite direction of the enemy or just hitting, well, empty space altogether. Just so that the bird, the owl, sorry, force of habit, takes priority when attacking. And sometimes I just do this.
One thing to also be aware of with the bird, especially if you're looking at conserving MP over the course of a stage, the bird will attack, or the Chappie will attack any. It's easy to say the bird, but Chappie will attack any target, and we mean any target. So whether so if it can be struck, it'll hit it. So whether it's a statue, even little, I guess the crab-like creatures. Oh no, the fish! You let the fish go. Oh, yeah. I like getting that fish during runs anyway. No, the fish is amazing to pick up in this run.
The next enemy is much
for this stage.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I know.
This guy is much
very
more
good.
Tease, because he normally drops a star for me. Not this time, thankfully.
No.
And I can't do
and
it.
Yeah, and yeah, sometimes we will go for a star on if we're going for a PB run. The star is slightly more optimal on this stage. The bird is still very powerful. The bird's amazing for clearing out enemies, but we do get an advantage with the star sub-weapon that we can skip some sections towards the top of the stage in order just to clear out rooms a little bit faster. But also when we get to the top after we clear our 3 auto-scroller rooms, just to be able to dash and not have to worry about dealing with enemies, so not having to stop and attack.
You will die. Here we go.
And room number 3.
At least they put checkpoints between the different areas, but yeah, nowhere else.
Not too worried about that 10 MP item to pick up either, simply because we will have another item to pick up a bit later on in this level that will help restore MP, a lot more MP.
Yeah, and it's actually dangerous to go for that because it makes the jump on the next platform quite tight. So playing it safe here. Snail.
There we go, snail. So JD's got his 50 MP back, and now it's a case of working past the next lot of gears. Just like the cave, how it was falling apart and the rocks were caving in. I think this clock tower might be falling apart a little bit as well with some of the gears dropping. Get a very handy health pickup.
Oh, we forgot to mention this item. The clock.
Oh, yes. Oh, that's one other... Yes. So that restores a small amount of time.
That was the door we took the...
Another one up.
Yeah, it's the door we picked the extra key up earlier for.
Now, there's a little bit of panic. There's the timer going off for sub 50, but there's our fish, and 500 seconds are restored on the clock.
Yeah, we didn't get a star here yet. Otherwise, we could like pretty much trivialize the whole last area and just run through it. But it's still like totally doable once we are past the auto-scroller section. Just take it easy and destroy the skeleton guy. And there we go.
And with escaping those rooms, we're on the top part of the Well, that section of the clock tower. Now it's a sequence of dodging all these enemies or taking out some of them along the way. Pick up a bit more MP. That's a really good pickup.
Nope.
Oh no, we don't want to grab that. We're going to leave the stopwatch behind.
And now I need to be super careful. Whee.
Pick up, and we're up to the stage 8 boss, the Gashadokuro, which is traditionally. So I only learned this the other day. It's traditionally a type of Japanese evil spirit. So, going to get as close as we can. Stand next to it, whip up. Chappie wasn't there. Where's Chappie? Oh, there's Chappie. Hi, Chappie.
Oh, sorry.
That can happen sometimes when we get to this boss. If we have Chappie, he just decides, no, I'm not hanging around. But then decides to come back once Rusty's done all the hard work.
Yeah, I have a theory about that, because the previous map is like a very long one, like horizontally. I think he like spawned at the like way out of bounds on the right side and has to like come back to us first. And we're already at the last real stage.
So this is where it gets a bit serious now. So stage 9, we've entered the castle. So
I've never had 12 lives here. So not afraid at all. At least not to game over. Again.
I think you'll be safe in that regard. So we've got a bit of a sequence to navigate to begin with. Again, we're searching for keys to get through doors. So there is a sequence that we go through. Probably try to take as little damage as possible, although there are some health backups that can be picked up along the way. Even the small chance of some random health pickups that can drop off enemies. Not very often it happens, but when it does, you definitely take those wins.
Yeah, you love to see it. Although I gotta say, I usually get them around the time when I don't need them at all, when I'm already at full health or not. But yeah. Even more smaller RNG on top of the big RNG.
And again, there's going to be some small details as part of these runs and sections in terms of platform manipulation. This is something that JD does really well with this. So that was actually a very good little bit of platform manipulation right there. Now, I've got to ask you as well, what controller are you playing on currently, JD?
I'm currently playing on a Fightbox B1 controller, which is basically like a buttons-only controller. Not the official Hitbox one, because it got cherry keys, like regular keyboard keys, but it looks like gamepad more or less. Oh, this is not ideal here. Yeah, I'm a total like button nerd.
And for a game like this, it does make a notable difference in terms of getting through sections. That's a checkpoint though, so that's nice and safe.
I mean, you got your world record on a regular gamepad, right? So
yes, I got mine. Yes. No, not at all. So, well, originally this was for either gamepad or for keyboard. Although if you play on keyboard, you've got to be aware it does use the 8462 system on the number keypad, which is not the most ergonomic.
Yeah, but I mean, with emulators and whatnot, you can remap it to whatever you want.
Exactly. And that's something else that we've done a bit differently as well, the emulators that we use. So you use RetroArch with the I've forgotten what it's called. The core, that's right.
Yeah, the Necro Project core.
Yep. Whereas I actually used the Necro Project emulator itself. So no difference between the two forms of emulation. They both we've both noticed that they've run the same.
Nope.
And straight on through. Oh, boys, you're going for it, that's for sure.
Yeah. But I'm still opening the secret stash over here. Ooh.
Yep. And this is always good to pick up.
More lives.
More lives, more MP. Now we get a sub-weapon. What's it going to be? Okay, I think you're going to be looking at upgrading that, aren't you?
Oh, I actually like that one if I use it right for this section here and for the... So you can manipulate some platforms that you cannot reach first cycle if you get a stopwatch here. And I just did it in my previous practice run, although I wasn't really like prepared for it. So I botched it a little bit, but still turned out quite well. Oh, that was too early. Yeah, so this
I think that's one thing that C-Lab did really well with designing the sub-weapons in this game, that there would be that they all do have a particular use. It's not that often that they won't have a use, and
this
it
platform,
can
you can get if you have a stopwatch. And I used it again because I panicked because of the bird. Yeah, but still nice. So you were explaining how the sub-weapons are really cool.
So there are different situations where on different stages you may have to think on the fly in terms of what sub-weapons to use at different points. Oh, good sequence there with the spikes.
Yeah,
there's a health pickup a little bit further on.
Quite used to dying here. That was unplanned.
I don't know how you didn't get hit there, but we'll take that.
Yeah, but this flying...
Health pickup.
Ooh, we made it. Come here. Did I actually die? Yes, once.
It had one death.
But in the low risk area, right? Not in the really risky area.
Yep.
Oh wait, that was stupid. Hello?
This is probably a situation where we didn't want to pick up that item.
Yes, because it's completely useless.
No, unfortunately those imps
Pointless
don't drop weapons.
autoscroller. Completely pointless this time. Not even dodging anything.
But we do see some of the girls that have been imprisoned as we make our way up to the top of the stage, and for the second time we encounter Brian Gatteau. Only this time he has more health. So he's going to take a little bit longer to deal with.
Can't even moonwalk on this one. But if you accidentally use the sub-weapon here, you slow down the elevator and waste a lot of time.
Oh yes, you don't want to use the stopwatch on that bit.
I haven't done this before, obviously. I just saw somebody else doing it. And it doesn't do anything.
Hunter versus Hunter.
Yeah. And I jumped there for no reason at all. And there we have the ball.
And there's the ball attack.
I don't even care. I have so many lives, you can throw all the balls at me that you want. And bombs. Just go crazy.
And and as mentioned before, it is a great benefit if you don't have the ideal sub-weapon. Having plenty of lives left over will allow you to get through the bosses in less time and not have to worry about having to game over and start all over again.
But the RNG galore is not over yet.
No, so we have 2 bosses to go in stage 10. So now we encounter the Queen, Mary herself. And similar to stage 7, she will be a little bit of an RNG target. So Mary basically has 2 attacks. So the first one is just swinging from side to side of the screen, and JD will have an opportunity to be able to attack her a few times along the way. And the other one is to form a shield, which will form 8 orbs, which will fly at Rusty.
Oh boy.
Like so. Not a bad start though. So she's gone to a low flying sequence already, and sometimes she'll just do this. She'll just fly. She won't activate the bubble as much. But then there'll be other occasions where she will just activate consecutive bubbles.
Yeah, not even switching sides, just bubbling all over. And if you time it perfectly, you can destroy all of them in one big hit. Come on. There we go.
Despite the RNG so far, that's been a really good boss.
Not terrible, absolutely.
That was a very good Bloody Mary. And now we come up to the resurrected Count, or the Marquis de Monte Carlo. So this will be a 2-phase encounter. First phase will be very reminiscent of Dracula Phase 2 and CV4, except we have a random aspect of where the Marquis will appear in 1 and 5 areas. So we want to try to attack him as quick as we can, damage him down, even if it means taking a bit of damage ourselves.
Not terrible. In my practice run, he was like sticking to the sidelines exclusively. Like so.
Ooh, one more hit.
Yes. Or he didn't even have time to like damage me with that.
And now we have Phase 2. So Phase 2, we encounter the Marquis in his final form, and our objective is to hit the green eye in the center, and we need to hit it 14 times. Sometimes we'll hear a little sound file that will let us know that we've hit it, like so. Sometimes we won't hear it at all, and the whip will make contact. One cool thing in transition, if you are low on lives in this game, going from Phase 1 to Phase 2, you do gain an extra life. So it's not simply a case of if you had really bad RNG against Bloody Mary, you can... Oh, some didn't pick you up. There. So if you happen to lose a lot of lives against Bloody Mary, but happen to get past Marquis in the first phase, there is a chance to be able to finish off. But with 12 lives to spare, I think
there we go.
Fairly safe, and that is done.
Time is coming up when I grab the orb in 3, 2, 1, orb. Ah, that was a roller coaster, right?
It had a bit of everything.
Yeah, absolutely. But overall, even with the game over in between, I'd say I'm quite like okay with the run. I'm not in like perfect shape, so it like took a little bit longer than expected. But the record is I think 41 something 50, right? From you, Uchi?
It's around about the 41.50 mark, yeah.
Yeah, and I got 1 minute over that because you know RNG stuff. Yeah, but overall, like a really solid game, especially for the time it came out. There is even a DOS version of it, but it does not have voice acting. Otherwise, it's the like exactly same game. But yeah, the PC98 version just like has the MIDI enhanced soundtracks and all the voice acting in there. And now we return everyone to the city. I think those children are even some kind of semi-important NPCs from the intro, right?
They are very important because they are the brother and sister of Ryoko, who is the main girl that we need to rescue, who played a very important role in this story. She was meant to be the most powerful person that was going to help resurrect the Marquis de Monte Carlo.
Crazy stuff, that. Yeah, that's Rusty. If anyone has interest in playing this game, I put a small like guide with some screenshots and route mapping up on speedrun.com, and you can also, I mean, I don't stream that frequently recently, but you can also reach me and ask me stuff. Uchi is way more on schedule with his streaming career than I am, so give him a visit. Hope you enjoyed it. Shout out to everyone who was watching and like all my colleagues and friends who probably also watched all the Pixel Perfect Marathon stuff and runners, enjoyers all together. It's been my pleasure.
Yes, thank you for having us, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the marathon.
And with that, we're technically done.
Okay, so yeah, congratulations, JD, for the great run. JD, I'm sorry. Yeah, so now we will have another short intermission before the next run. So stretch your legs and make sure you stay hydrated. After the intermission, we will have Metal Gear Solid, the Twin Snakes Any Person normal game level. It will be actually a race, and it will be actually the only race run in the event. So you probably don't want to miss that one. So stay tuned, and we will come back shortly.
Bye.